Jumping in here to let you all know that my commissions are open, so if you want an angel kill illustration, now is your chance. We can dominate the world with these silly, stupid chibis. Now, let's get back into the video. Hello, how are you? In this video, we'll be designing a character inspired by perfume bottles. I've actually done this video concept before, I think a few years back. I think those were perfume bottles. I'm a bit unsure though. But I actually got this idea again while I was browsing. It's a bit confusing, okay? At some point I just grew perfume crazed. I don't know, I'm just really into perfumes now. I don't know exactly how it started, but I think it was with lactonic notes. I had bought a body splash, I think that was the moment. Same one that my mother has, but a new formula, which honestly is the same thing even though people say it isn't. It's like just slightly different, like 5% different, but overall same thing. But like this body splash has just a smell of whipped cream and milk and sugar, and it's just so nice and just so delicious, right? And I just got really into it. I think that was the moment, and then I went online and started, like searching for like perfumes that have like smells of food and gourmand perfumes and whatever, that sort of stuff. My mother is also a little bit into perfumes, but not like I am now. I'm just a whole different level. I can never like something just a little bit. I have to be just completely obsessed with it. And here we are. So when I got home after buying it and I got like this idea of perfumes that smell like food, I found a website called Fragrantica, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name. And they have like parts of discussion, part where you can search for certain perfumes and see its notes, another part where you can see like a certain perfume and like the comments of it, and just threads. I don't know, it's a very cool site for people who like perfumes, right? And I went on a whole lactonic notes rabbit hole there and just saw like a whole discussion, a thread of everyone like giving their opinions and perfumes and stuff, and then going after each perfume and seeing the notes and seeing people's comments on it and stuff like that. And at the end, I even went out. Okay, I mean, when I actually go out, right? I don't really go out that often, at least once a week, to buy groceries. But I went out with my mom to buy, I don't know, stuff, but they had perfumes there, so I thought maybe I should actually sniff these smells and actually try to remember each thing and try to like recognize stuff. And then got home and went after the perfumes that I actually smelled and actually saw the notes and looked if I got anything right, and like just started seeing what are things I like and what are things I don't like. I smelled some perfumes that I don't like. I found out that I don't like woody smells. I don't know why, I just think that they are very stinky. I thought that I would like them, right? I like wood. I like nature. But those just, oh man, horrible. But yeah, I went on a little rabbit hole, right? Like, I like gourmand smells a lot, but I also like white flower smells, like jasmine perfumes. Yes, I love smelling like cemeteries. But it has to be a specific one, okay? There are different notes in mind, like top notes, heart notes, bottom notes, whatever. They're free. Bottom, middle, and top. I started thinking about that reverse and saying it the other way around. That's very confusing. And you have to keep in mind how those all mix together. But anyways, enough perfume talk. Let's actually get into the character that I'm making here in the back that you're seeing. That you actually already saw me making the majority part of it, because I got on a bit of a tangent in the middle of this. So as I was scrolling through perfumes and such, and like seeing these gourmand smells and tropical ones and just stuff that would make sense here where I live, where it's extremely hot, right? You have to keep temperature in mind as well as to how a perfume will react. I found this perfume with a beautiful bottle and actually my name. It's called Angel by Miller, or however you pronounce his name. I don't speak French. I tried at some point. Did not get there. I do speak a bit of Italian though, but just in basic. I can read Italian really fast. My mom is really surprised by that, but I'm getting on a tangent again. Focus. So, I'm not affiliated with Miller. I'm making that clear. This is a character solely inspired by its notes and by its bottles, a few of them. I chose these ones specifically since I found them interesting, and since they are all the same iteration of the Angel Miller perfume, the normal one, they are not any of the other ones like the Elixir or the Nova and some other crazy ones that I saw that I don't even remember the names of. But the comments had told me that the most prominent notes in this specific perfume are patchouli, of course, vanilla, chocolate, jasmine, pineapple, and honey. So, I want to just keep in mind the bottle designs, but also the ingredients. I chose these bottles specifically because they're all the original one, right? The original bottle I knew I wanted to use as inspiration for the chest piece, a top of sorts. And the Comet one would do a great headpiece. It also lived rent-free in my head. I had to use this just Comet design somehow. This more 3D one reminded me a bit of shoe, so I added that in. These two, I really like how pointy and sharp the star is. Plus, in this one, I really like the silver part, so I added that to the dress as like a sort of outline of sorts. And this transparent one I used for one of the legs. So, I made the initial sketches in my sketchbook to get her shape idea first. As you may know, I always start my character designs with a shape, a memorable shape, a silhouette. Because if you can get down a silhouette that represents the personality or vibe that you're going for, together with something memorable and unique, then you've got a good character design, okay? So I tried getting that in. I tried getting it, okay? And then I did these sketches. Did not like those, so I tried again, and then we finally got it. As you can see, at the beginning I used the first one I had made for the actual like silhouette that I would do, like the simple usual character design pose, and the other one was just more there to give me a better idea of the details in it. So for some other parts in the design outside of the bottles for the certain shapes and parts of the character, I added some vanilla flowers for decoration since the perfume has vanilla notes in it. A petal transparent organza skirt because there are rose notes, so might as well add some petals there, or at least one. There are some other flowers as well, but I don't really remember. Plus, I only saw like 2 people saying that the rose one was a prominent note in the perfume, so I didn't want to make that a big part of it. But the actual organza part has a pattern of jasmines drawn on it, or something similar to jasmines. I was lazy to draw them by hand, so I used a brush that I had on me already, and a fishnet for the pineapple texture, since you know pineapples have like that checkered pattern or whatever, you know, this sort of fishnet look on it, and I don't know, I just want to add that in, right? I also made her hair very watery since, you know, perfumes are liquids, and if you just, you know, press the little pump thingy, it sprays out, so then you spray liquid. Wait, no, that can be taken out of context. I did not say anything, okay? After that, I added some more stars here and there just to give it like this constellation vibe. I used some of my metallic brushes that I have some stamps of glitters and star stuff. Just added those around, like where the star stuff is happening. For example, her headband. Also that place in her skirt that flows up, I added some there, and also the star on her skirt. Around these parts, I added some star stuff. I really like the idea that this character keeps its face hidden with the star top. And also that they have a star tattoo on one of their eyes, the one that they keep closed. I don't know if I should call it a her or a they. I don't really know. I went for a more feminine route for this, since I find it more interesting to design characters in a more feminine look. But I should at some point make more male ones. Who knows, maybe I'll just start drawing drag queens at some point. We love drag queens, okay? Don't be a drag, just be a queen, as our mother Lady Gaga said back in 2010, 12, 11. I don't know, I don't remember. So I wanted their shape for their design to be long and flowy and fresh. That's why I gave them very long legs and thin ones, and just a lot of flowing long stuff, like flowing long hair, flowing long skirt. Just everything is very flowy and long. And for the fresh part, I tried keeping like the more neutral and lighter colors. As far as I know, this perfume is actually very intense, but the design is very clean, okay? So I went for the design idea here, in that case, for the color palette, more so than the intensity of its actual smell. I don't know, I just really want the design to flow into itself. That's why the hair flows into the direction where her skirt flows into the direction where her headpiece flows into the direction back into her hair. Everything does a cycle in this. I tried like making everything go back into itself. The colors of the perfume are all very light and low contrast, right? That's where I got the design, the clean design from. I tried going for that at the beginning, but it just didn't look eye-catching enough. So later on, I actually do change her skin color to a darker tone to match the vanilla beans and chocolate notes in the perfume. Especially since I added some vanilla flowers here and there, but vanilla isn't made from the flower. The flower grows a bean, and inside the bean there are the little seeds, and those seeds are what we use for vanilla. So later on you will see me changing the skin color, and then it'll look better. It'll look more eye-catching, and there will be a lot more contrast. And that's very cool. To actually render this though, I loved using my metallic brushes for the metallic parts of her outfit, because you all know I love my metallic brushes, I love my glitter brushes, and I have to use them whenever I can. They're mine, not really, but I have them, so they're mine in a way. I actually suffered a bit with rendering the hair, because I'm not used to rendering flowing water. Maybe that is something that I should practice a bit more to get out of my comfort zone. You all know how excited I am always to get out of my comfort zone, because I love suffering. But it's fine. I pulled through, I finished this, I did the hair, and it looks watery and flowy. I used some water brushes that I do have, just to make my life easier. You know, I'm a lazy bitch. But I don't know, it just turned out fine, right? Later, at some point, I do in fact use a free-to-use image of some vanilla flowers to add in, and then just color them a bit to add the reflectiveness of her entire blue self, because I imagine, okay, think with me, this character is very blue, and light blue, and crystally. If light hits those crystal parts, those will reflect. Plus, they also have metallic parts on them that will also reflect, so we have to keep those in mind as well. And she is very blue. Her hair, their clothes, all of that. I also did reflect a little bit of the yellow from the vanilla onto places, just to add everything more into itself and integrate things more to show that it is part of the design. So that's very cool. I actually want to make more character designs, since I want to practice more the actual layout of character sheets. I think that I'm very bad at those, but we are pulling through and we are learning. That's what we're here for. I dream of buying the actual Angel perfume, you know. I need to smell it first, of course, before I actually buy it, see if I will like the smell, but just by the notes and the ones that are more prominent, I imagine that I would like it. As far as I know, it's very patchouli intense, so you have to keep that in mind. I am a person who likes patchouli, so I imagine that I will like it. I don't know yet. If not, I will see if I like some of the other angel ones. Maybe the Nova one. That one is more flowery. But I don't know. I think that... Is it worth it? Who knows? There are so many other ones like it. This character is so crystal-like as well that it actually reminds me of my own celestial beings, but she isn't one. But it just reminds me because of the crystal thing. I solely use crystals and designs when I'm making celestial beings. So this one made me rethink a bit of stuff, right? Just rewire my brain a bit to be more fine with the idea of other things being crystal-like, just for my own head. I don't have a use for this character, so I will in fact be selling it together with a little illustration to go along with the character sheet to use as a profile pic or whatever you want, really. I think that they're really cute and their design turned out very interesting. For this design though, I actually tried filling it in a bit more just to add like more details to it, since I tend to keep my characters very simple usually because I do characters for story stuff, and if you have to draw a character repeatedly, you want it to be easy. But in this case, since I'm not drawing this character all the time, I might as well add a bunch of details, but I'm not used to it, so who knows really. Maybe there are still details missing. Maybe this isn't as detailed as I think it is, and intricate or whatnot. I don't know, I think it looks really cute overall. I can actually imagine this character in a very cool, like, astrological fantasy story. I'm sure that their full face and the other eye that they keep hidden would be important to their lore somehow. Who knows? Maybe another thing that I could have added with the design to make it more intricate is adding some Swarovski crystals to the design, like one of the bottles has. I find it funny how I specifically talk about certain things like organza and Swarovski crystals. I guess it's my sewing person side coming out. I still don't know the neutral term for it. Is it sewist? Tailor? Designer? But I design my clothes and I make them as well. I don't know. I'm a sewing person. I wouldn't call myself a seamstress since I'm not a woman, right? And I'm not a man too, so tailor also feels wrong. I don't know. I'm a sewing person. At some point I'll figure that out, but I like their penetrating blue eyes, and I hope you like the design that I came up with. If you want to buy it, if you have the money for it, you can check out my VGen, right? And overall, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm hoping a lot of stuff. You all know that I hope a lot in these endings. I hope you have a nice day and night, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!